Don't know why I couldn't breathe without you. To angels on a bed of rusted nails, swimming in the lake of fire and waiting to inhale. So I'll play cards with the devil and I'll pray to God I'll win, but I don't think he'll help a man who don't believe in him. You can't save my soul, 'cause I'm southbound on this train, and I know just where I'll go. I'm going down. Living life like a pariah, waging war with my messiah. I've been tied up to the stake, and now I'm waiting for the fire. So I went down to the crossroads to try and sell my soul, but he just gave it back 'cause it ain't worth the trouble. You can't save my soul, 'cause I'm southbound on this train, and I know just where I'll go. I'm going down. You can't save my soul, 'cause I'm southbound on this train, and I know just where I'll go. You can't save my soul, 'cause I'm southbound on this train, and I know just where I'll go.
Oh, baby, welcome in All-American Cup Series Thursdays. It's the season finale. Season 11, Atlanta Motor Speedway in the booth. It's Rowdy, and next to me, as always now, Kyle Leaf here in the 8. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're ready to do this thing. Let's get the season finale on the road.
Oh yeah, last week we had an awesome green flag start-to-finish event at Nashville. Now we're at Legacy Atlanta. The track can be a little similar. Man, we had a lot of issues just to get this race in. We had to switch to hostage because iRacing messed up the league page. But we still got a nice 23, maybe officially 22 car field for tonight. Rookie Nathan Jurgensen finally gets his first pole in what is the Season 11 finale. Let's go ahead and talk to him, Kyle.
It's not letting me pull. There we go.
It looks like Nathan's deafened. Somebody tell this guy it's interview time. They will wake him up. Well,
it's possible he's listening. Casey is doing his pre-race announcement. It's possible he's listening to that.
Understood. We'll wait just a moment for that. Nathan Jurgensen qualifies on pole to his outside, the 33 of Justin Thompson. Then locking up the championship. It's sole league owner Casey Carrington to his outside, Jared Ray Hutton, Curtis White, Justin Ray, Ethan Again, Thomas Stokes, Josh Dillon, Daniel Giroux round out the top 10. 130 laps at Atlanta. Next time by the flag stand, we will see the green flag. Again, we're still waiting on old Nathan Jurgensen. And if he's still deafened by the time we hit the flag stand, I think we'll just have to deal with it and send him back down. We'll take that out of his payout if he wins this deal, huh?
Let me see if I can get a hold of him here. Nathan, you requested in the booth, sir.
Well, we'll send him back down. It is just a bit too late to get him up in the booth because at the flag stand, we'll go green flag. Kyle, what do we expect tonight out of a beautiful Legacy Atlanta race to cap off Season 11?
Well, from what I understand, we're using kind of the same setup we used last time we were here 2 seasons ago, which means the car, instead of being tight, is going to be super loose, kind of like it was a few weeks ago when we went to Texas. So this could be very interesting, or Legacy, Texas, rather. This could be very interesting. It looks like we're going to get about 36 to 40 laps on fuel. If it goes green again, probably a 3-stop race if you could save enough that, probably save a lap or 2 here or there. We'll see what happens, though. It's so loose, I think there might be a caution or 2 tonight, even with this small field.
Well, we're about to find out. The pace car will hit pit road, and we'll go green flag racing. Nathan Jurgensen, Justin Thompson, Casey Carrington, Jared Ray Hutton, your top 2 rows. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. We're racing for the season finale and the All-American Cup Series. Justin Thompson jumps. Are they really?
They sure are.
Oh, we got Matthew Weeks and Walker McNulty around. No yellow, Kyle. We're still green flag at the moment.
We are. Owen Rosenberg gets very loose down the back stretch, puts it down to the apron.
Kyle, are you out on track right now?
I sure am.
Last
week I ran half a lap and unfortunately didn't cross the finish line. Casey said it didn't count for points. So this week we're going to run a full lap, and that's what we've done here.
So my very first time seeing an onboard camera live commentator in the car. That's got to be pretty neat.
And meanwhile, they're getting loose in front of me there. If you go on board for that very start of the race, you'll see exactly what happened. They checked up in front of me, and I believe Matthew Weeks just got into Walker McNulty.
3 wide back here, just on the back half of your top 15. Justin Ray took the lead from Nathan Jurgensen, and here comes Jared Ray Hutton. He's making the move right now up there on that top line for second. And it appears old Kyle Ethier has had his fun. You pull it in the box and run up here to the booth.
We sure are. They're golf carting me up there right now. I'm a little scared. We're all right. We're going to make it up there. Looks like Justin Thompson, pulling away by about half a second right now over Jared Ray Hutton.
Nathan Jurgensen has been about the second best rookie this season. And it appears Andrew Skelnick not in the field for tonight. So a chance for another rookie to get a win. Jurgensen, one of the only rookies in the top 5 right now. Top 10, excuse me.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get back.
Not too many rookies tonight. Just, I believe, really, Ethan and Nathan.
Jurgensen now gets back to the inside of Hutton for the second spot. He's going to drive underneath him. They're going to be even down the back straightaway. Then it's Carrington, Curtis White, Dayton Taylor. Jurgensen nearly clear. Has to get back out of the throttle there on entry. Hutton hanging on his right rear right now. But I think he'll clear him.
Shout out to Jared. He always makes you battle. And we saw it last week when he was fighting, I believe, with Thompson there on that outside. He makes that outside work very well.
3 wide with the lap car who was involved in that lap 1 wreck of Matthew Weeks, a guy that's been really fast. This is going to be a disappointing night for him already. Jared Ray Hutton, he will re-clear Jurgensen. Jurgensen looked like he had the forward momentum. And he's looking back down to the inside again. What's the best way to save tire around here, Kyle? Jurgensen rolling that bottom, or Jared Ray Hutton less wheel input up there on that top line?
Honestly, you can save it either way. I've always found it better to save on the bottom, but it's really just about how much wheel input and how much throttle input you put in. The throttle input is really the key. You just got to be real smooth on the gas. That's the way to save the tires here.
So Justin Thompson has already pulled away to a 2.5, but your top 10 minus Justin are really close right now. Jared is just starting to pull away from Jurgensen. Casey Carrington locked up the championship. Your league owner here is running down. Jurgensen, here comes Dayton Taylor looking to the inside. That'll be for the 5th spot. Dayton Taylor, he's had a lot of good top 5 runs so far this season. Would love to see him have a shot at victory lane by the time this one is done. Daniel Giroux, 6th. Curtis White, 7th. Thomas Stokes, the 2nd and 8th. Ethan again, 9th. And rounding out that top 10 is the 38 of Justin Ray. 17 on the board for this race. And because we had to go to a hosted session, a lot of numbers going to be messed up. But we're starting to recognize paint schemes.
Oh, yeah. Especially someone like me who's been out there racing amongst these guys all year. Besides Ethan, the last 2 weeks with that Jegs paint scheme throwing me off a little bit. Usually in all black, but he's running real fast in that Jegs car. So,
well, what's throwing me off is we made it, I think, 11 out of 13 races into the season, and Thomas Stokes ran out of Mike and Ike flavors and varieties. So now he's in a completely different paint scheme for the end of the season.
He really did. He went through. It was fun to watch every week. I didn't really realize there were that many flavor of Mike and Ike's. I wasn't much of a fan of Mike and Ike's growing up, and he introduced me to quite a bit of new flavors. I was right around him quite a bit around the racetrack this year.
And right now, old Mike and Ike now running a nice black and gold paint scheme. 2-door Cinema Club. Yeah, 3 wide up the inside around the 97 and the 63. 63 Curtis White up there on that top line. Thomas Stokes moving to the 7th spot. And we're still racing side by side up here. Casey Carrington inside of Nathan Jurgensen. Jared Ray Hutton has Dayton Taylor just behind him.
I'll tell you what, all this side by side racing, Justin Thompson is just cruising away. 2-second gap already, just 12 laps into this race.
Oh, Jared Ray Hutton brushes the wall there. He's been on that top line all race long. Maybe he's burnt up those tires a little bit to where the car's starting to push. Might have just been a mistake, but all the guys that were rolling the bottom are going forward. The guys that were ripping the high line going backwards.
Yeah, Dayton always someone who's going to rip the bottom here. Always fast, the thread here. Shout out to Carl Edwards, my favorite driver growing up. Won his first race in that paint scheme. Maybe Dayton can do the same tonight. I think if I had to make a pick, he's my pick. He's my pick to win this thing tonight.
We are at Legacy Atlanta Motor Speedway. It very well could happen.
We sure are. Tell you what, some great racing here. Really second on back.
Yeah, these guys are putting on a show, and I think they have it in the back of their mind that after last week, Kyle, green flag start to finish, being perfect on pit road and having early race, early run track position when the field's close is going to be the way to go. We see some guys that lay down qualifying laps and start. Oh, no! 66, Thomas Stokes. There's the yellow. I just had to talk about how we could go green flag, and old Mike and Ike found the outside wall. He got turned.
The old commentator jinx right there. Poor Thomas.
Let's take a look at the replay.
Down the back straightaway.
Is he going to clear up across the nose of Jared Ray Hunton? Oh, Hunton loose.
Jared came down. Yeah.
Oh, unfortunate. And that's going to take out the 66. And, that was close for the 4 there. Oh, that's unfortunate. You see Jared's just going to come down and hook him. We saw Jared push up in the wall, loose off that time. So only 2 cars involved in that wreck. Jared Ray Hutton might have some nose damage on the 50. Yes, he will.
Yep.
That'll send him down pit road. 15 laps in. We're barely halfway through the fuel tank. If you're going to pit now to top off fuel, probably be the guys maybe around 8th on back. But it is a winning strategy we've seen happen here in the All-American Cup Series. Early yellows, you pit to top off fuel. Next thing you know, you're part of only maybe 6 cars that have a shot to win the race at the end. And a lot of drivers down pit road right now. Look at it. Casey Carrington leads them.
3. Yep. This is interesting here. I wonder who's going to... If you think it's going to go green, do you take tires here? You could make it to the end if it goes green with the sets of tires you have by taking a set here.
It looks like Carrington, he's putting on tires. Hutton's on tires. Ray's, well, of course, Jared Ray Hutton fixing damage. Ray is putting on tires. Lilth Peters.
Looks like
everybody took tires
for a lot
there.
Of guys, yeah.
Maybe Rosenberg did not take tires there. He moved up a handful of positions.
I believe Dylan as well. Yeah,
Justin Thompson,
Josh Dillon.
Justin Thompson stays out. No, you're all right, Kyle. This is a bad thing about broadcasting while on a Discord call. You get that latency. Justin Thompson, he has decided to stay out with Nathan Jurgensen, Curtis White, and Elijah Cole. Now, it makes sense for Elijah Cole. He was pretty deep. Curtis White, he was around, I believe, the 9th position. But Jurgensen and Justin Thompson, your 2 race leaders, have decided to stay out here. You either, A, got to expect yellows to where you can put on tires and have fresher rubber than the guys that just pit. Because if you go green flag, it's got to hurt you, Kyle.
Yeah, this is definitely a gamble, I feel like, at this point, with as many cars that did take tires there. And it's a small field tonight. You know, we've been going green lately. This is, I feel like, a normal Justin call, though. He would rarely give up the race lead in that situation, so I'm not surprised he stayed out. Like you said, I don't mind the call for Curtis and Elijah. They're pretty far back. We'll see if it works out for Nathan, though. He was, someone who was really fighting hard for position there, probably kind of using his tires up battling, so he might be at the biggest disadvantage here.
Casey Carrington won the race off of pit road. I got to believe Josh Dillon took no tires. Dayton Taylor, Dylan Rosenberg took no tires. Possibly Lilith Peters as well. Craig Martin, Ethan Gann, Daniel Giroux, Christopher Heller, Jeremy Flanagan, Zachary Rogers, Mitchell Mark, Carlos Thiel, and Walker McNulty. Your 18 cars, Justin Ray. He topped off fuel and went back down pit road to have about an extra lap. And Jared Ray Hutton looks like he has rejoined the field with damage. Thomas Stokes, Matthew Weeks officially out of this race. And your lap 1 camera car still parked down there looking clean. Green flag is out. We're back racing here in Atlanta.
It looks like Justin chose the outside there. Got a good restart.
And Jurgensen is still staying at the bottom. Thompson in the middle line. And you're going to see guys with fresh tires try to work their way through the guys that stayed out or did not take tires when they hit pit road. Here comes Casey Carrington. He's on freshies. He's on the bottom line. Carrington may end up in the lead here very shortly.
Yeah, and even at a track like this, even just 5 laps makes a huge difference. So I think within a lap or two here, Casey will for sure take the lead. Looks like he's the first of those who took 4 tires.
And remember, if a yellow comes out maybe 10 or 15 laps after this.
Oh, there's a caution right there.
Okay, I got to stop saying something. Dylan Rosenberg, Josh Dillon, Lilith Peters involved in what is that, by the way? Those are all drivers who did not take tires but hit pit road. Did somebody have a bobble or get ran over by a guy on fresh tires to cause that wreck, Kyle? Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay.
Yeah, out of the corner of my eye, I saw Dylan going backwards. Not sure how it happened. Let's see.
The 92 of Daniel Giroux was just behind him.
Oh,
and look at that. Old tires getting loose. Jared Hunt had the same thing. Gets into Giroux and Josh Dillon. Lilith Peters nowhere to go. But the majority of the field does a pretty good job.
Yeah, it looks like Lilith probably got pretty good damage, but other than that, I think Dylan was all right. I think Daniel Giroux's all right. This right here, though, that's a hard lick right there for Dylan and Lilith.
Yeah, nose to nose there. Doesn't look good. And that's going to be strictly because those tires might have cooled off a little bit, but they're still worn out. So a false sense of grip, too much wheel in the car in the center of the corner, snaps it loose. Unfortunate for Rosenberg, which now that gives Thompson, Jurgensen, Elijah Cole, Curtis White a chance to hit pit road. Justin Thompson will take that as a sign. But what do they get here, Kyle? They're going to get about 5-lap advantage on tires now. That's right where you want to be. This is good for those drivers. Except Jurgensen stays out with Elijah Cole. That's a miss, in my opinion, Kyle.
Especially now, I feel like Justin and Curtis are in a good spot on fuel, even a better spot, obviously, than the guys who pitted under the last caution, have the 4 fresh tires. I'm surprised that Elijah and Nathan stayed out now after 21 laps. We saw how fast the new tires were coming there on that last run.
And really what that means is either they're doubling down, they're betting on black again, and they're hoping another yellow comes out, and it has to be within no more than another 10 laps because they're going to run out of fuel. I mean, maybe 10 to 15. Or you're like in it for the long haul. You're going to pit 15 to 20 laps before everybody else. You're going to be stuck on that strategy. If we stay green for the rest of the race, it could also screw you over. A yellow could come out halfway, and if you're off cycle, being Nathan Jurgensen or Elijah Cole, it could screw you there too. So it's a gamble for more ways than one.
Yeah, it's interesting because they could probably get with the cautions now to lap, say, 45, but yeah, if it goes green, they're really split straight in half from everybody else right now. So it's a dangerous spot to be in for them.
Top line seems to be the advantage for the leaders on these restarts because Casey Carrington will choose it.
And I believe Dayton behind him did take 4 tires as well on that last caution. So the outside lane has a tire advantage here.
That also moved Justin Thompson back to the 13th position. But he's a guy that could cut through the field. He could get up there fairly quickly.
Oh, he certainly can. And he's the first car on 4 tires. Carolus and Justin Ray did pit there. I think Mitchell Mark as well, but they did not take tires. They took them on the first stop. Like Thomas has rejoined the race as well. Still on the lead lap.
All righty, we wait at the flag stand with Barney. Out of turn 4, pace car will pull off. So Casey Carrington, fresh tires, P1, clinch the championship. Trying to get 3 wins this season. We're back racing at Atlanta.
Good restart on the outside.
Yeah, Dayton Taylor gets a good launch. He'll move into the 2nd spot as the guys on lap 1 tires are going to get eaten up by this field. They're going to get nose to tail, and they're also going to race each other down the back straightaway. That means somebody might shoot 3 wide bottom if they get the opportunity. Meanwhile, Dayton Taylor trying to work on Casey Carrington. Look at the 97 of Ethan again. He's trying to move up through the middle of those two guys on old tires.
And right now, those guys on 4 tires stuck behind those guys know the longer they kind of can't get by those guys, the further away Dane and Casey you're going to get. It's going to be hard to make that time up.
On board with Ethan again. First car on fresh. Oh, he has to wait on Elijah Cole to save the car. And here comes Daniel Giroux on the outside of the 19, followed by Chris Heller.
3 wide there. This setup, much like the Charlotte setup, where when you get on somebody's bumper, it does make them really loose, especially through the tri-oval area.
On board with Zachary Rogers watching this battle. Ethan again. He'll get away. Elijah Cole stuck on the bottom. Jurgensen was able to hold his own, keeping that car underneath itself. Chris Heller, he's 7th right now. The 92 gets loose. And so is the 4. Justin Thompson's there. Thompson contact! And the 76 of Flanagan will go around. Excuse me, that's Careless Thiel. Thompson to the outside wall. He just collected another car. Yellow flag is out. That was the 22 of Craig Martin. Oh, no, Kyle. We saw that happening. Justin Thompson trying to save it. Gets into Careless Thiel and shoots it back up the track into wrecked Craig Martin.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of tried to split the gap there off the quarter when they got loose in front of him and got into Corollas. They got stuck together, got into the grass, and then, yeah, Justin just overcorrected it right back up into the field there.
You can see everybody is loose right now. The 92 lifts. Thompson tries to go low to avoid him and just runs into Careless Thiel, sends him into the grass. There's not much Careless can do here. He's going to lose it. Thompson overcorrects Craig Martin.
Just nowhere to go.
I think Martin thought Thompson was going to go up to the wall. Thompson actually kept it low. Martin ran into him. Oh, no. Let's watch it from another angle. On board with Careless. They kind of meet in the middle there. And they're not lifting. You can hear that. They are absolutely not lifting. On board Craig Martin. This is going to be a hit here.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yep, kept his foot in the trend. Just thought Justin was going to keep it low, I think, right there. Just clipped him just barely in a tough spot.
You see Thompson, he's already throttling back up, thinking he's out of it.
Craig just caught him in the right rear, too, just barely.
Well, that bails out Elijah Cole and Nathan Jurgensen. They will finally hit pit road. There's Elijah Cole. Here's Nathan Jurgensen on the other side of the hedge.
And now with so many cars damaged and pitting here, they kind of look like geniuses. They're going to restart probably right around 10th, 11th, really not too far back. With a pretty good tire advantage now, almost 15 laps, though most of them under caution.
Yeah, they are looking good, and we know Jurgensen has the speed. We'll see if Elijah Cole can maintain, but just as much as maybe they were in the way for the cars that had fresher tire, now they got to worry about some of the guys in front of them. And like you mentioned, there are some damaged race cars in the field. Casey Carrington still has your lead. Dayton Taylor was trying to give him a run there before the yellow came out. Ethan again, he's finally moved into third. We'll see what kind of speed he has for Carrington and Taylor. Christopher Heller, Zachary Rogers, Walker McNulty, and Curtis White follow. Jared Ray Hunton, does he have nose damage still? Let's check on Jared Ray. Man, they fixed that really fast on pit road. That thing was all messed up.
Yeah, it did look pretty messed up, but it didn't look like he really hit too hard, so it was probably more just cosmetic. If I had to guess, it was probably around 50 seconds to a minute of damage. Didn't look like he was on there too long repairing it. Looks good to go. Hey, it might help him with as loose as the race car is. Might help tighten it up.
Well, we can only have nice green flag racing for so long before we get into the season finale. We get some different strategies already working, and these guys are a little rowdy, and maybe some guys are knocked off their A game. There was a horsepower increase for the season finale in the practice session. Well, when the league tab got all messed up and only, a eighth of the field was in there, we put up in hosteds, no horsepower advantage. Guys only had 15 minutes to practice. Some of them, it was the only 15 minutes that they've had because they never got in the original session. So we're kind of, drinking what we brewed, so to speak. We're living with it. So Casey Carrington, league owner, season finale, gets the chip. He goes, do I even need to keep running the deal? Well, 23 guys showed up to participate in the finale. I'd keep her going. Green flag is up. Green flag is out. We're back racing at Atlanta.
A good restart for the front row there for Dayton and Casey.
Dayton Taylor down to the inside. Trying to run that bottom white line. He did clear him. Carrington looks back to the inside. Crossover. Meanwhile, cars are 2x2 behind. Carrington inside of 3 and 4. That's the line that has the advantage on these early runs. Can't clear up. Taylor stays right there. Christopher Heller gets third over Ethan again. Zachary Rogers fifth. Oh, Dayton Taylor in the fence. Overdrove it.
Oh, he's in the fence again.
Not sure what happened to him, but he needs to worry about Christopher Heller as Casey Carrington puts a second gap on him immediately. Carrington has moved up to the fence. Christopher Heller, he'll slide in for a second. Here they are at the flag stand. Carrington, Heller, Dayton, again, Rogers, your top 5. 3 wide back here. Elijah Cole, fresh tires. In the middle is the 92 of Giroux. Up on that top line should be... I'm not sure who that is. Curtis White, maybe? I don't know. I forget. We don't have names to numbers. I'm messing up. That's Justin Ray, excuse me.
It is, yep.
Not the 17. Curtis White just in front of him. Tight packs right now. Ethan again starting to work on Dayton Taylor for that third spot. On board with Zachary Rogers. Yeah, he drugged the wall a little bit. It definitely knocked all the momentum out of it. Not sure about a toe link. Knocking the toe out of the car.
He could also just be really backing it down, taking it easy here after that.
He still looks pretty loose on that bottom line as well. You get those tires hot, you got to run really easy to cool them back down. Here comes Zachary Rogers trying to grab the 4th spot. Meanwhile, Jared Ray Hutton trying to hold off Curtis White. Curtis moved pretty ecstatically down to the bottom line there. I don't know if he had to save it on the exit 2. He's trying to drive up to the 50. Elijah Cole gets in front of Daniel Giroux, and here comes Nathan Jurgensen, your pole sitter. Freshest tires in the field all right here, him and Elijah Cole. I'm not sure if Daniel Giroux is on those fresh ones as well with Justin Thompson or just topping off fuel. Jurgensen's looking good as he looks to the inside of the 92.
Yeah, I believe Daniel did not take tires on that stop. I think he took them on the first stop. That's why they're kind of passing him there a little bit. But yeah, Elijah and Nathan working their way back up. 8th and 9th here. Still within 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds of the lead. I think they're in a good spot. Looks like Justin repaired his car pretty good. He's right there with them as well. Likely some tires there.
Justin Thompson, the 11th spot behind Giroux. At the flag stand, once again, Carrington, half a second lead over Christopher Heller. Heller's trying to reel him back in. Curtis White inside of Jared Ray Hutton. And that's a battle for 6th. And now your entire field is getting about single file. Go ahead, Kyle.
They sure are, and I just want to give a shout out to Zach Rogers, man. He hasn't, like I said, been here in really a long time. Just kind of showed up last week, and 2 straight weeks having great runs here in that number 4 Napa Chevy.
We got some cars ripping the fence. Some guys have moved down to the bottom. But at the moment, Casey Carrington, top line all the way around, looks really fast.
Yeah, and I think the top's going to be the faster way. It's going to be tough to make a pass on the bottom, but I think it's still better to save tire on the bottom. I think it can be done on top, but I think the line Dayton and Chris are running. Well, Chris, as I say that, Chris moves right up to the top. I feel like staying on the bottom, like Harvicking if they would, is really the way to go to save tire here.
Jurgensen outside of Curtis White. That'll be for 8th. Following Elijah Cole right now, both drivers cutting their way through this field.
They've made up about 3-4 tenths over the last few laps. They are slowly running the leaders down on those newer tires. Looks like Jurgensen going to get to the outside of Elijah here. Try to be the first car on those fresh tires. Going to do it.
Jared Ray Hutton starting to follow the clutches at Jurgensen. Jurgensen reeling him in. Yes. And here comes Curtis White coming back around with Justin Thompson in tow. And Curtis is like all the way down to the bottom. Every time he goes to pass somebody on the back straightaway, he puts it all the way on the bottom line. It really hurts his entry. I don't know if he's running like an FOV where he's not confident where the right side of the car is, or he just gets a little unsettled when he turns the wheel to the left, but he'd probably be able to pass a few of these guys if he wasn't running it all the way down to the apron. Meanwhile, Christopher Heller, he's caught Casey Carrington for the lead.
He has. He's been kind of right behind him. It seems like he's almost stuck in that bubble right around 2 to 3 tenths back right now. I'm not sure if he can. It seems like he gets into the wall there.
Brushes the wall.
Yeah, when you get behind cars, it'll tighten you up. That's why you got to try to run a different line. That caught me at Charlotte. I wasn't able to catch Casey late in the race because I was just kind of following him around instead of looking for a new line. And I think that's kind of what you're going to see Dayton and Chris start to do here if they feel like they're faster than Casey.
So now Dayton Taylor, he's going to try to get back to the second spot around Christopher Heller. Heller now feeling the effects of a tight race car. It'll be Dayton Taylor's turn to try to run back down Casey Carrington. And so Zachary Rogers, followed by Jared Ray Hutton. Ethan again, Nathan Jurgensen, Elijah Cole, Justin Thompson, Curtis White, your top 10.
See Jurgensen inside again there, continuing his move toward the front, down to a second and a half, or under a second and a half now. He really is running these guys down as this run goes on.
And your top 5 is so close together. Nathan Jurgensen is only 1 second off of Casey Carrington. Yeah, he's got to pass 5 cars to get to the lead, but we're really tight right now. These guys have brought themselves nose to tail, and maybe that's because some of these dudes are a little faster than Casey Carrington, and he just has that clean air advantage where they're stuck in the bubble behind him. But we're getting racy here as the battle for second finally gets underway. Dayton Taylor to the inside, and you can see top line advantage on exit. Christopher Heller will take it back. Here comes the 4.
Yeah, and Dayton usually someone who can really make that top line work. So I'm interested to see he ran it there. If he'll really start ripping the wall, he's someone who can really rip that wall good, like a Kyle Larson-esque type driver. Casey doing a good job of that today, though.
Yeah, Heller's moved to the bottom line now just to try to put that nose in some clean air and see if he could get back to Casey Carrington and try to make a move. We're freight training right now.
It's working. He's catching Casey a little bit.
Oh, Taylor, big slide off the corner.
Yep.
Oh, 92 and Jerome saves it. Wow. Great job, Daniel Giroux. A couple of cars were sideways off the corner. He'll blend back up. Those tires are screaming. And he maybe just barely had the left rear on the wall. No damage for him.
Boy, I'll tell you,
Rogers third. Yeah.
Those tires, those things are extended. They are extensed right now.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. He might be on an extends when he started the race, but I would have went completely flaccid there. That was a pucker moment.
Oh, it sure was.
And look who's driving his way back up to the top 5. Jared Ray Hutton has returned, and he's battling Nathan Jurgensen, who has an at least 7-lap tire advantage. So Hutton went into extreme tire save mode, and he's driving his way up. He's now 5th.
And I'm wondering, Jurgensen was racing pretty hard to get up there, so has he used up his tires? He's kind of stalled out where he is right now, struggling to get by Jared. It was just a small, advantage. We'd run maybe 2 laps under green there. They're gonna lap past Thomas Stokes, who is without a nose on that 66 car.
Somebody send that boy some Mike and Ikes to cheer up after this race. Sucks to go out early. At least he's getting the laps clocked. He's going to finish strong.
Especially with a small field today. Going to get some solid points.
You can see Christopher Heller. He's trying to run a lane off of Carrington so he has clean air. But it's just slower around Atlanta right now where Carrington could rip the wall. High line advantage. A lot of aero wash when you go up there and try to follow somebody. And you're just playing follow the leader right now. The only way you can make passes is late in the run if you save tire really well. Just like what Jared Ray Hutton has been able to do.
Yeah, he's done a good job. He's starting to reel them back in. It looks like Jurgensen's starting to fall off a little now. I think he used up his stuff a little bit. Maybe too fast there. Zach Rogers too. He's joined this battle with Chris Heller and Casey Carrington. He's right there.
This is the first lap where Casey doesn't enter on the wall. That gives that preferred line to Christopher Heller. I don't know if he went low to try to put dirty air on his nose, but it was too early. Heller was able to rip the wall, but you see off the corner, big wiggle, slight contact with the fence. He could have had a really good advantage going into 1, but now he has to rebuild it. Carrington could go back to playing some really good defense. Everybody kind of sliding off the corner there.
We're starting to really get into this run. These guys that pitted at lap 15 that did take tires, they're probably, 35, almost 40 laps into this run now.
You can tell by the way the car is turning on the front straightaway going into the tri-oval, Kyle. I mean, the tires are so worn out that you're having wheel spin at the center of this front straightaway when you turn for the tri-oval. So these guys are feeling the effects. Christopher Heller's loose. Here comes Zachary Rogers.
Oh yeah, at this point in the run, it's impossible to probably be anywhere over 90 to 92% throttle down the front stretch at any time. These tires, as worn as they are, that's why they're getting so loose off of turn 4 there.
Zachary Rogers, he's trying to make a move for a second, but he has Dayton Taylor adding pressure behind him, and Jared Ray Hutton not far off, running really good lap times right now comparative to your top 4. He is still in a save mode. And here comes Dayton Taylor down to the inside of the 4 car, trying to get third back. Had to let those tires cool off, and now he's charging back to the top 3.
That's what Dayton's very good at, is saving tire for the very end of the run. He's always fast at the end of the runs. Good battle for second here.
Off of turn 2, Taylor will get the 4, slides up, fills the gap in between Heller and Rogers, looks back down to the white line. He'll try it again. Doing a really good job at hugging the bottom. Corner exit. They're going to be even.
And if he can stay with him, I think he's going to be able to complete this pass right here through 1 and 2. Yep.
Off of turn 2, you'll have it. And Zachary Rogers, he's right there. He wants to get back in it. Jared Ray Hunton, followed by Nathan Jurgensen just behind. And Casey Carrington is only half a second out. He's not pulling away. Here comes
Heller
Chris.
peeling off the pit. Yeah.
Heller on pit road, the first of your drivers to do so for this next cycle in the race.
I believe he pitted with Casey and those guys at lap 15, so you got to figure they're pretty close as well to have to make a pit stop here.
And he had finally gotten beat by Dayton Taylor, so he goes, you know what, I'll take that as my sign, come down, get the fresh tires, get some speed back right now. And here come your leaders, Casey Carrington, Dayton Taylor, and Zachary Rogers.
Dayton on there hot.
Ethan again down pit road as well. Jared Ray Hutton yet to pit. He pit on lap 20, 5 laps after the leaders. Nathan Jurgensen lap 27. Jurgensen through Mitchell Mark, 2nd to 8th. All pit on lap 27.
So now the question will be, if they feel like it's going to go green, you can make it to here, to the end from here on just the 2 stops. How long do these guys who, can stay out? Because it's going to give them a tire advantage late in the runs, but they're going to lose a lot of time right here staying out, each lap here well over a second a lap.
Yeah, well, it's all about the expectation you have for yourself late in this run. If you feel like you still have speed in the car like Jared Ray Hutton does, Jurgensen does, Justin Thompson does, maybe go for that strategy if you think it's going to work out. Because you look at it from 2 perspectives. One, if we go green flag for the rest of the race, all of those guys, as Justin Thompson brings it down to abandon the strategy we're talking about, if all of those guys have to pit again after you pit, you could still stay in front of them if you keep a good average lap time. If a yellow comes out late, you have an extra set of tires. It's a win-win deal. But you have to have an average lap time faster than the guys that are going to take tires now, fly around the track, and then be able to take tires again to make it to the end on fuel. How confident are you? Jared Ray, not that confident. Now, when it comes to earning a black flag on pit road entry, I think half the car needs to be off. If just the right side tires touch the grass, you should be okay.
That's going to be close for sure, because he may have been speeding as well. He was coming in very hot right there. I have to see how long this pit stop takes.
There's Justin Ray down on pit road as well. Not sure what's going on with Curtis White. He's been stopped in that box for a while. Maybe he's serving a penalty. I'm not sure.
Let's see. Well, he's up 9 laps down. It looks like he pulled off quite some time ago.
Look, Jared Ray's being held. Jared Ray did incur a black flag on entry. So that leaves us with Nathan Jurgensen, Elijah Cole, Jeremy Flanagan, all yet to pit. I think if anybody is going to try the strategy of staying out as long as possible, never mind. Here he comes down pit road, Kyle. Everybody is going to have 2 stops left in this race. I don't think Elijah Cole and Jeremy Flanagan are going to attempt that strategy. Here's Jeremy Flanagan outside the top 15. So Elijah Cole goes to the lead, yet to pit. Currently, your relative leader will be the 16 of Christopher Heller, pit lap 57. Just behind him is Casey Carrington, 1 lap fresher tires, pit 58. Zachary Rogers, Ethan again, lap 58. Justin Thompson, lap 60.
Yeah, and it looked like that 1 lap short pit for Heller was able to get him by Casey. Be interested to see if Justin staying out as long as he did there. Slight tire advantage, not too far back. Maybe that could work in his advantage if this thing continues to go green.
Thing is, these tires are going to feel so fresh here that Casey Carrington, the pace he's on, he can catch Christopher Heller and then try to battle him in position before it becomes too top-line dominant. But if Heller can hang on, wait for those tires to break in, and the run moves to the top line, he could keep dirty air on the nose of Carrington, or lets him by, continues to roll the bottom, and tries to get him back later. Jeremy Flanagan will finally bring it down pit road. Everybody has hit pit road now. Here's your battle for the lead.
Yeah, and I feel like with Casey, it seemed like Heller had a faster car than him before the pit stop. So it'll be interesting if, now that he's in the dirty air, if he really can do anything, or if Heller's just going to kind of pull away here. Heller was pretty fast that whole last run. Obviously, so is Dayton, which I'm not sure what happened. Oh, yeah, Dayton must have had a penalty as well. He's 15th a lap down.
That's unfortunate for the 99. Probably the third fastest car here tonight. So here we go. This is the battle for your lead. Christopher Heller, Casey Carrington. 3 seconds back is Zachary Rogers. Behind him, Ethan Again and Justin Thompson. Your top 5. Thompson has a nice 3-second gap to Walker McNulty in the 6th spot.
I really like Justin's spot right now, having those 3 or 4 lap fresher tires. He made up some time on that sequence. He was about 7th or 8th, I think. Now he's up to 5th. Doing a good job just saving his stuff. Looks like he's making up time on Heller right now. This goes
but
green.
He is
he's definitely
running
going
the
to be
middle
someone to
line.
watch.
Kyle, he's running the middle line, putting a little bit more wheel in the car, whereas Ethan Again is wrapping the bottom. He could wear out those tires, and sometimes Justin Thompson will do that, knowing he's the fastest car in the race. Tonight, I don't think he's P1, P2 quickest. He could be hurting himself by the time we get to the end of this run.
Yeah, when Justin's kind of in a situation like that, he'll go around and search for speed. He'll run the outside, the middle, the bottom. He'll search truly everywhere until he can find something that he likes. That's one thing about him, though. He can really adapt to anything. He's very talented. He truly is a great racer.
With the field spread out and everybody kind of making their bed right now with their strategies, we expect green flag racing from here on out. So we got to really study the gap between Heller and Carrington, but we will keep an eye on the guys on the second half of your top 5 who could slowly drive their way back up to the front if they save the tires and keep the advantage. There's a lot to watch right now. It's not just a 2-car breakaway for the lead. Other strategies are involved. Remember, Christopher Heller, lap 57. Casey Carrington, lap 58 tires. Justin Thompson's on lap 60s. Nathan Jurgensen, your pole sitter, in the 6th position. 7 seconds off of Christopher Heller, your leader, but pit lap 63. That's an advantage.
Yeah, right now he and Justin have been running the fastest laps out there. Justin's actually cut it to 3.5 seconds. He continues to make up time. I'm just wondering if he's pushing a little too hard right now. Like you said, kind of running that middle line. Casey's kind of reeling Christopher back in here a little bit. The race lead.
2 tenths separate the pair. Carrington looking middle. Christopher Heller's now moved up to the top. And that's going to be a battle where he can put that dirty air.
And for sure, if you're Christopher, you do not want to give up the top. If you're Casey's going to pass you, it's going to be on the bottom.
And Carrington's being very patient with that car. He's not throttling up in the dirty air. He's going to wrap the bottom. Now, it's going to get difficult for him when he gets even with Heller because he won't be able to throttle up all the way to the wall and exit. It gives him a tighter corner to work with. That's where you hear the term like top line advantage, and it kind of turns into a 2-car drag race down the back straightaway where the guy on the outside could technically be slower or even have weaker tires, like this case, but could still beat the 9 to the front straightaway start-finish line.
It's interesting. Sometimes Christopher seems to give him that wall, and when he does, like right there, Casey made up 2 or 3 tenths, and then he'll kind of take it away again, and like watch right here. I bet you Chris will go back to the top. Then he went back. Yeah, he did. Kind of takes away his line again.
He's doing his best to mirror drive, but he has to commit before Carrington. So Carrington has maybe about half a second to decide to go somewhere else. And you see Heller all the way off the throttle trying to block him, but he has to go back to the top line. Continue.
Justin Thompson has passed Zach Rogers. He's up to 3rd. He's only 2.5 seconds back. He is on a roll. He's coming.
We talked about him. He was 5th. He drove his way into the top 3. And he'll be at this battle before you know it. 2.5 seconds back. Meanwhile, Carrington putting together some really good runs. He's moving this car around in these corners, trying to get that clean air. It's working right now.
Yeah, actually going to get up alongside Chris here in turn 3 and 4. Great run there off the corner.
Now Christopher Heller needs to go into defense mode. Hurt the rotation of the 9 if he wants to continue to lead this race. But he'll go all the way to the top line, give Carrington plenty of room. Casey will end up clearing him before too long. Heller did get a good run off of 2, though, so he is kind of committed to pounding the top line, whereas Carrington seems a little floatier, a little bit more methodical, and he will clear into the lead, Casey Carrington. Back to the point here at Atlanta, and Justin Thompson gained over half a second since we mentioned it before.
Yeah, that was a big. Casey needed to make that pass happen. Justin, like you said, really made up a lot of time while they were side by side there. Really making that middle work. He's committed to it.
Yeah, middle in 3 and 4. I think he's ripping the high line in 1 and 2. Very fast right now, and it doesn't really sound like, and we'll take a look at the actual cockpit, not a lot of wheel in the car. Very methodical. He'll be middle this time as well. It's a really good run. A little bit of counter steer there, but hey, I'd rather counter steer off the corner than turning the wheel harder, trying not to plow the right front. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of a looser race car myself. Just there's just so much more you can do with it. When it's tight, you're just really so confined, just trying to save that right front. And if you push too hard, once you push it too hard, you know, your whole run's over. With the right rear, you can kind of mess around with it where you can burn it off, but you can push hard and then kind of burn the right front off a little and make it work again. So I definitely think the loose setup is what's creating such good racing today.
We're probably about 20 laps away from seeing some green flag pit stops out of the field. It'll be could be some of the final pit stop of the race. I think we might have expected them to have to pit again, but my math is mathin', Kyle. Only one more time down pit road for your field.
Yeah, I would probably think they're...
Justin Ray is upside down
in
the air. Justin Ray had that car 20 feet in the sky. What just happened to Justin Ray?
Oh my goodness.
Have you ever?
I have never seen a car flip like that at Atlanta. Oh my goodness.
All right, we got a replay to look at. Hold on to your butt. To his inside, careless.
Oh.
Whoa,
Oh.
whoa,
Oh.
whoa,
Whoa.
whoa,
Whoa.
What is going on?
I think there's a glitch in the Matrix.
Did Careless Steele go up there and get him to start with?
I think he did. It seemed like he just kind of ran him over there. I don't know if Justin got loose. No, it looked like he just kind of ran into him.
Trying to jump to the top. The nose catches the ground.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
we got to go on board. This is going to be sickening.
Oh, we sure do.
Hold on to your lunch.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What a
I'm
ride
flying
for
through the
Justin.
air. This ain't good. Oh, my God.
And the good wrench Chevy, I hope he's all right. Really do.
I hope Dale's okay.
He's got to be all right, isn't he?
No yellow, by the way. Maybe race control just did not know what was going on. Meanwhile, Carrington, the entire field is on pit road. Did we throw the yellow? I think we did. I think we did end up throwing the yellow, Kyle. I didn't hear it over the radio. Okay. Did not hear the yellow get put out over the radio. I think they had to go down there and attend to Justin Ray.
Yeah, the AMR safety team certainly had to get to him very quickly. Luckily, it did land on all fours, so looks like they already got that thing back to pit road for him.
Let's go ahead and talk to Justin Ray. Justin, Rowdy, and Kyle up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I've regained some
It's
consciousness.
it's good to hear your voice. You've changed your accent. I swear you had a British one before this. What happened?
Well, that's what we were just talking about. I went in to turn one and it got a little loose, and I had to lift and careless. I mean, he had nowhere to go, and I thought we were gonna be okay, and the next thing I know, I didn't know which way I was going.
I've never seen a car wreck like that, starting with the nose of the car grabbing the ground. Is there a pothole in the entry of one we don't know about?
There probably is now. There's probably a lot of holes after I landed, from coming back from outer space. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm actually looking at the replay now. I don't know if you see my body panels and my tires have exited the entire parking lot at this moment.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
we just got word you have struck the second playground. Unfortunate.
Oh,
That
Oh.
that's weird. I've never I mean, I've had glitches, but um that one was impressive, and I feel bad. I'm looking at it now here too. I took careless bumper off. I kind of feel bad about that, but yeah, the car just kind of got arrow loose, and I lifted, and he was there. So can't blame him. That was just not how I was going to be expecting ending my night.
Yeah, neither did we. Sorry to see that, Justin. We'll send him back. Kyle, we get the yellow. Everybody pits, and we're not good to the end.
yeah, we're still gonna have to pit one more time, and I'll tell you what, Jeremy Flanagan seems to have stayed out, so I believe he's the race leader here. This could get very interesting on the restart.
Yeah, Jeremy Flanagan trying to save an extra set of tires for the end of the race if he needs a green flag back out. Carrington would get a good launch. Now everybody's got to try to get around Flanagan, who is on just about 15 lap older tires. Here comes Christopher Heller. He's loose on the bottom.
Oh no!
We stay green. He keeps it out of the way. Oh, that's heartbreaking. A guy that had a lot of speed. And he'll lose it.
Oh man, running second, third, or the lead all race there. That's unfortunate. Not sure if there was contact or if he just got loose.
I think he lost it by himself, just like what Dylan Rosenberg did, Kyle.
Yeah, these cars on fresh tires, it takes 2 or 3 laps to really, get a handle on them after a pit stop.
Well, that was something. Jeremy Flanagan still in the top 5 on those old tires. He's made his bed with this strategy, which means he needs a yellow to come out at the end of the race to put on those fresh tires. Everybody still has to pit again, but Jeremy, he needs a yellow.
And I'll tell you, he was running toward the back anyway. He's actually holding on pretty good right here. I like this call for him. It gives him an extra set at the end if we do get a caution. I like this move for Jeremy right here. It's a good move for him.
Go where the wind takes you. It could take you to victory lane here in Atlanta. The wind took old Justin Ray up to God for a second.
Oh. I tell you, that car seemed like as high as the grandstands. I mean, that was unbelievable. That was probably craziest flip I've ever seen on iRacing.
I think he absolutely cleared the scoring tower.
Oh, yeah.
Elijah Cole, bottom line. I kind of counted him out. He made some mistakes, but on this restart, he's drove his way nearly into the top 5. He's got to battle some fast guys right now, but showing strength in the early run of the 65. He'll grab 2 positions in 1 corner. Look at that. Into the 5th spot now.
Not clear, though. Still 3 wide here. Ethan going to drop in behind them.
92 goes to the top. Meanwhile, Nathan Jurgensen, here he comes. Backed into the top 3. He wants to get Rogers here.
And I feel like he probably feels like he's the faster car. He was before all the cycles of pit stops was running right up there, first, second, third. Now everybody on even tires.
Elijah Cole gets cleared. Now Ethan again gets around Daniel Giroux for 6th. And he'll try to work on Elijah Cole for the 5th spot. Inside to the 65 into turn 1.
Kind of lost in translation there. Dayton Taylor did get the free pass. He's up to P10, so he is back in this thing. He's someone looking for another caution for sure. Get him back up there. We know he's fast.
I have really good news right now, old Kyle. iOverlay has finally fixed the bug where when a yellow comes out after halfway, it changes the lap count to some random decimal point. So we don't have to fade up an external graphic to show you what the total laps are. So 91 out of 130, 40 to go. Carrington leads. We're still guaranteed one more set of pit stops. Zachary Rogers in the 2nd spot. Nathan Jurgensen 3rd. He has to worry about Justin Thompson trying to pass him. Elijah Cole still 5th over Ethan again, but that's a tight battle as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Ethan may be a little better on the longer runs than Elijah, so we'll see how that works out there. And then, like we saw earlier, it seemed like Justin was very good on the long run as he makes a move on Nathan right now, actually. So we'll see what he can do here, if he can maybe kind of get up there in the mix with Zach and Casey.
Inside, nose and clean air for Thompson. He's about to get to the inside of Jurgensen and have him even. Down into turn 1. He'll take it to the white line. Jurgensen moves up to the top. He's going to throttle up on exit and have the advantage. They nearly touch.
Yeah, couldn't quite clear him there. Kind of start all over again here.
Again, top line
Justin
advantage.
loose.
Oh, yeah. Now to the inside. Bottom line, really good in 3 and 4. If you get it hooked, but he'll move to the middle line and get up to the door of Jurgensen. So your rookie, Nathan Jurgensen, hanging on to 3rd over the driver that has 3 wins this season.
And with Skelnick not being here tonight, I believe that the Rookie of the Year title could go to. It's either going to be Nathan or Ethan.
That's how close the rookie points are with Skelnick with 2 wins.
Yeah, right now, yeah. Skelnick entered today 4 points over Ethan, and Ethan was 11 over Nathan, so.
You might need to fact check me. Skelnick has 3 wins now. So that's an insane rookie battle. When a guy has 3 wins, Jurgensen has 0, again has 0, and they are that close going to the final race. That's how consistent the rookie class has been this season.
It has. It's been one of the best rookie classes in recent memory for sure. I remember my rookie season, I came in and, man, I felt like a milkman out there. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 rookies I was competing against, and it was probably one of the easiest Rookie of the Year championships I could have ever had. So this has been super competitive all year. Like you said, they've all had speed. Andrew's won 3 races. It's been a really, really good rookie class, and that's what we need. So a good influx of good, clean drivers up in here.
Casey Carrington leads. We begin lap 98. Closest battle on track, closest to the front. Walker McNulty, Daniel Giroux, side by side, 7th and 8th.
You see Dayton behind them, making his way back up to 9th. Like I said, trying to recover from that. I would assume some sort of, I think I said I saw him get into pit road a little hot. He likely had a speeding penalty like Jared.
At least he was able to get his lap back to begin the battle. Saving grace was that airborne Justin Ray.
Sure was.
Oh, McNulty loose off the corner. And that allowed Dayton Taylor to go around the outside.
Yeah, you can really pack air on someone's bumper off the corner, and what do we see? Almost see it there. Daniel got really loose there with Dayton behind him. It just gets you so loose at a track like this.
Up on the high side, Daniel Giroux. Here comes Dayton Taylor. So McNulty is able to pull away. McNulty in the fence. That was close.
It sure was.
So Dayton Taylor will move into 7th. Ethan again 5th, trying to get back to Nathan Jurgensen. Jurgensen trying to hang with Justin Thompson. Thompson hasn't really been reeling in Zachary Rogers as quick as he was reeling in guys this race. Rogers in the fence.
Yep. Got a little too much there in 1 and 2. He was making pretty good time up there.
Casey Carrington gets a little bit of a breather after watching that one. Zachary Rogers, he rode it for a while. Thompson could try to reel him in now.
Yeah, they're all pretty strung out there now in the top 3. Ethan and Nathan still trying to battle for 4th there. This is just what Casey wants to see. You know, everybody kind of not making any big moves on him. You know, obviously Zach getting into the wall there kind of gave him a little bit of a gap. Probably getting pretty close to this final pit stop. I think you'd want to probably split it in half. Unless you're going to try to go as long as you can, maybe go 2 tires. It's a possibility as well.
I don't know if there's anybody in the field that wants to attempt 2 tires. They don't know how that car is going to feel. We're pretty out of control with worn out 4s. You put freshies on the right side, worn out left sides, which could completely change the balance. And you might not be ready for it. Nathan Jurgensen 4th. Ethan again 5th. That's your closest battle on track, closest to the front, separated by just 4 tenths. Here in the late stage of this race, if you split this final run in half, you get even tires back. But if you try to stay out, you got to have a good average lap time. If you short pit the leaders, if you're anywhere from Elijah Cole down to, well, Walker McNulty, who just hit pit road, they are going to short pit this field. Flanagan, he's down there as well.
Yeah, Jeremy, remember he had stayed out, so he was on the oldest tires of anybody. No surprise to see him on pit road here.
McNulty, we saw him out of shape a few times, so we'll see where this puts them. Exiting pit road around the 12th spot, 1 lap down. How will he cycle out by the end of this race? He pitted from, I believe, the 8th position. Justin Thompson starting to reel in Zachary Rogers, and he's bringing Jurgensen with him. And look at this. It seems like at the end of the run, your top 4, top 5 start to closen up the gap. You don't see that. Normally you just see it keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's starting to get tighter and tighter and tighter.
It is, and that does happen here at Atlanta. You know, I remember Mike Joy, as he used to call it, a rubber band. You know, these things, the way the handling is, every run it changes. You know, every the balance will change every time, and it's just all about saving tires. You know, each run you save them a little different, and I think this run it seems like Zach's doing a really good job as he continues to try to run Casey down. More cars on pit road here.
Yeah, Nathan Jurgensen, Justin Thompson, both are on pit road with a Gann and Elijah Cole. So about half of your top 10 there, Kyle, including a few out of your top 5. Going down now.
You got to figure this is probably going to start to drag Casey and Zach down. They're not going to want to get too far off sequence with these guys like Justin, and yep, here comes Casey right now.
You're absolutely correct. Rogers to follow. Daniel Giroux still out there yet to pit.
You know, try and extends that lead a little bit for Daniel there.
Did I hear a pun?
You may have.
Careless steal. I mean, there's definitely some crap sitting in that driver's seat after watching what he did to Justin Ray. But he's out there. yet to pit. Same thing for Christopher Heller, who had a moment. A self-spun, was able to save it. Here's Zachary Rogers. He beat Casey Carrington off of pit road. What happened? Look at that huge gap. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Carrington, I don't think he overshot his box. I'm not sure what happened. Did Zachary Rogers take right sides only? That gap also doesn't seem big enough to be right sides only.
It doesn't, though Casey is running him down very fast here off the pit exit, so it does make you wonder maybe if he did take right sides only.
He must have. Right sides only. Not quite a full gas tank required to get to the end. But Carrington's right there. And there's Nathan Jurgensen. This is a battle right now for your lead.
Yeah, you know, with Casey in between Rogers and Jurgensen here, Casey maybe did just have a mistake on pit road. Kind of fell back a couple seconds into their clutches here.
Battle for the relative lead right here. Your top three drivers on the board have yet to pit. Jurgensen up the inside. He'll begin to work on Carrington. Zachary Rogers sees Carrington moving to his inside. Carrington looking for your relative lead. Once the pit cycle is over, he will be your official leader. This is the battle for the win, Kyle.
Yep. It looks like he's going to get past him, and I think Casey, once he has the lead, it's going to be tough to pass him. It seems like he's had a really good car out front. And I did just take a look. Zach did take 2 tires to Casey's 4.
Here comes your pole sitter. Yeah, Jurgensen, 1 lap older tires than Casey Carrington, but he is your pole sitter. Fastest car at the beginning of the day. Can he get to Casey Carrington?
And he does have 4 tires.
Carrington trying to cap off a championship season. This is about to get hairy here. These guys are going to fight really hard. But Kyle, if Jurgensen could save a little bit, what does he need to do? Because Carrington's already moved up to the wall. Is there enough time to save some tire and go back and get him very late in the run?
It's going to be tough. You know, Casey seems like he's had maybe a little edge on him the whole race. Definitely going to need to try to run a different line than Casey. Kind of stay out of his dirty air, and maybe he can mount a charge at the end of the run here. But already it seems like he's maybe starting to fall off a little bit.
Casey Carrington trying to get win number 3 of the season. Getting win number 3, he would join Andrew Skelnick. Justin Thompson has 2 career wins. He's currently tied with Curtis White, 1 win. Dylan Rosenberg, 1 win. Jared Ray Hutton, 1 win.
And you got Carolus.
Continue.
I was going to say Carolus and Christopher definitely hoping for a caution here at this point. They've stayed out so long now. I figure they've got to pit any lap here, maybe within the next 5.
Christopher Heller, remember he had that moment at the beginning of that last run. Definitely really heartbroken. So this is his last Hail Mary attempt at saying, hey, I was in the top 3 at one point. Can I get back there? Carlos Thiel seems slow off the pace. You think he's going to hit pit road this time? No, he will not. That car's really lost some speed. There goes Curtis White getting around him.
Yeah, they're at the point in the run now where tires are really falling off. Probably a couple seconds a lap compared to these guys who had just pitted. Casey already back to 7 seconds behind Carolus, actually.
By the way, Justin Thompson might have had an issue on pit road, a speeding penalty of some sort. He is 1 lap down.
Yep. Kind of been that type of year for Justin, unfortunately. Had some good runs going, some unfortunate mishaps, and then, a few weeks there where he couldn't run, lost, didn't have a subscription. Like I said, he was up there in the points and still really is. Still probably going to finish top 10 in the points despite all that this season.
Justin Thompson officially scored 15th in points. 9 starts to the field's 13. Excuse me, this will be start number 10 to the field's 13.
There's Carolus.
Next driver
Heller.
to hit pit road will be Heller.
Yeah, I was gonna say, almost seemed like he was out of fuel. He was going so slow there.
Staying low and out of the way to Casey Carrington, who will officially take away the lead on the board. Nathan Jurgensen, a second off of him, trying to hang. Ethan again, 1.5 seconds off of Jurgensen. Rogers, 2-tire strategy, 6/10 off of again. Dayton Taylor, Elijah Cole, closest battle on track, closest to the front. Dayton Taylor 6th, Elijah Cole 7th. They'll all move up 1 spot when Heller hits pit road.
And Dayton, again, he's done a good job fighting back from that penalty. Like you said, once Chris hits pit road, he'll be in the top 5. Just needed that little contact there. Just needed, or still can get it, a late race caution to really get himself back in there. I know he's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
10 laps to go for Casey Carrington. Nathan Jurgensen in the 2nd position. Ethan again 3rd. Zachary Rogers 4th. And Dayton Taylor will move into 5th. With Elijah Cole 6th.
With Heller's pace right now, I'm wondering if at this point he's just trying to save fuel, make it to the finish.
Ethan again got to the back of Carolus.
He did. Gonna
Get
allow
around
Zach to
him.
get to him.
Yeah. Now when they get back up to speed, I think the 2 tires on Zachary Rogers won't allow him to really pass again. And that was Harry. We were close to that late race yellow.
We were.
Ethan again 3rd. Great
Carolus
top
on the wall
3 day
again.
for him. Yeah, Carolus having some issues.
Yeah, Ethan's had a very good year, and like I said, with Skelnick not here, a 3rd place run here, he's well on his way to capturing the Rookie of the Year title here.
That would suck for Skelnick, missing 1 race, losing it after winning 3 races. In your rookie season.
Yeah,
Unheard of.
it really was. It was very impressive from Andrew, fast every week. But I think he missed this one and another one, so he had a couple of races where he wasn't here, didn't score any points. Still was up there in the points because of those wins, but unfortunately, yeah, just not quite enough of a lead to hold on to it. Six to go. Dayton is the fastest car on the racetrack. I think he's going to get Ethan for 3rd and maybe find another podium, but not quite going to be able to go up and fight Nathan or Casey here. Just not enough time.
He has a 1-lap tire advantage over Ethan again. Now the issue is top line has the advantage if Egan moves up there. It'll make it tough for him, but Ethan is wrapping the bottom, so Taylor is able to begin to run him down, but it's 5 laps to go for Casey Carrington. A lot of conversation has been had, Kyle, about, what's going to happen to All-American Cup Series. Sometimes as a league owner, I can attest to this. You don't really mind going, I might pull the plug. I don't really have the drive right now, or you get to the end of the season, you feel burnt out. But after a great turnout and what has been an awesome season 11 that I've been able to be a part of and broadcast, I would say keep doing it. You have a really good core driver base, and it's not 7 or 8 guys. It's 15 to 20 guys that will try to show up every single week and put on a show. There are a lot of leagues out there where, they struggle to get out of the teens, or they struggle to get double digits when they have bad days. I heard a comment be made, not the best car count, or not, as somebody said, it's kind of a weak car count, but you got 20 guys showing up. That's pretty good. And so Casey Carrington, if he does pull the plug on AACS for the foreseeable future, he goes out a champion. But I think there are a lot of guys that are just as hungry as ever to want to continue to hunt and perform here in the All-American.
Oh, yeah, and I've been saying for years, I feel like this has been kind of the premier Gen 4 league out there. The end of the season here has proved it. It's cleaned up really nice, and we've had some really fun races toward the end here. And I think for sure that Casey's going to want to try to at least go back-to-back. I think he can pull the plug on that.
And if he doesn't go back-to-back, he needs to see if he could revenge tour win it again, right?
Oh, for sure. And that's another thing is, the numbers at the start of the year were very good. We were sending guys home. I think we'll have no problem, finding, at the start of the next season, full fields once again. This happens every once in a while where, things get strung out. It was a little messy during the start of the season, but, everything's cleaned up, and it's been a really good finish as Casey's going to take the white flag on the final lap of, I believe, season 11 of the All-American Cup Series.
13 races in All-American Cup Series, the 11th season. There's a long list of drivers that have found their way to victory lane, but Casey Carrington, he won the Charlotte 300. He said, I'll never know when I can win again. He's going to win for a third time and get the championship.
Finally had the dominating season, but whew, now I can breathe.
Kyle, we jumped down there. He said, finally, I can breathe. Gets his dominating season. And look at this entire field come by to congratulate him, not just on a competitor winning the race or a friend winning the championship, but congratulating him on facilitating a great season of racing, many memorable moments. We've experimented with custom setups to get these cars to drive better. It resulted positively. And I think Casey Carrington has a lot to be proud of with the All-American Cup Series. Curtis White about bends the car up to congratulate him. And it's a slow roll down the front straightaway for the 9.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Very popular. Like I said, Casey, not one of those league owners who just goes out and, dominates his league. He's earned it, and he's worked very hard for this, and he's had a great season. And, I think everybody's real happy to see him finally get it done, have a good season, put it all together. And, he does such a great job running this. And I think, everybody here enjoys running league and enjoys everything he does to put it on and all he sacrifices. And, man, I'm very proud to see him win it.
A couple other drivers will join him on the front straightaway. Nathan Jurgensen finished as second. Rosenberg will lay down some rubber. Rosenberg brings home the 17th spot. Dayton Taylor third. Ethan again fourth. And Zachary Rogers fifth. And I think he's ready to be talked to as Jurgensen twerks it on the nose of Carrington. Carrington trying to run away. Let's talk to him. Oh, Casey Carrington, season 11 of the All-American Cup Series is in the books. You got Jurgensen showing you his underbody, 3 wins, and the championship.
Yeah, and the manufacturer championship for Ford, which last year I would have thought would have never been possible because there's only like 5 people running it. But man, yeah, like I was saying, it takes Miles and Weeks and Thompson and Zach and those guys to not be running full time for me to finally get a championship. But it's also being able to finally run a season where I didn't get wrecked out at both Daytona and Talladega. So it's either way, man, it's nice. This is one of my favorite tracks. I'm glad to finally win here in the league. Zach was faster than me. He just made a mistake of taking 2 there at the end. Thompson, I think, sped on pit road, or he was faster than all of us. But Yeah, man, what a season, what a race.
Kyle?
Yeah, Casey, just congratulations, man. You know, I've been known you a long time and been racing here a while, and you know, you've earned this. It's a super popular one for you, and I'm proud of you. You know, you got it done, and you know, it's been a tough season, you know, at the start, and you, like you said, you finished every race pretty well. You only had, I think, one bad finish all year. Put together a great, consistent season, and you know, I think even whether or not those other guys were here, you were going to be right up there, you know, to win this championship. You were fast all season, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I didn't, you know, had resigned myself. I was never going to get a championship in this league because of the plate racing, and just there's so many guys here that are faster than me. But yeah, man, I mean, just to finally get it done. Like I said, shout out to you guys for doing the broadcast. Kyle, wish you could have been on the track these later races in the season. I mean, I guess you were for a lap or so, but you know, thanks to Dom for that. But thanks to Rowdy for doing the broadcast. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope, you know, some people got to see it with the delay, and I didn't get the chance to post a broadcast linked on Facebook. But all in all, man, I mean, this league is pretty much been the be-all, end-all for me on iRacing these last 5 years, and to finally get the championship and rack up a couple wins is, you know, it's one of my favorite memories from being on iRacing. So, yeah, I'll let you guys interview the rest of the guys, and I'll go celebrate and finally relax my hands after 2 hours.
I got a Budweiser for you. Come up here in the booth when you're done.
All right, buddy.
We'll send him back down, finishing second today. He didn't let us talk to him when he qualified on pole. He had to lock in, brings it on P2. Nathan Jurgensen, trying to compete for the top rookie award, almost got the win here tonight. Tell us about Atlanta.
You could have unmuted me, but no,
We
yeah,
couldn't. You were deafened.
Oh, I thought you have the admin powers. That's all good, though. I apologize for that. That was a good lap, and I was hoping to keep track position all race, and then, man, all season long, I'm always on the wrong side of strategy. I missed didn't pit when I should have, and I was kind of chasing the whole race, and it was kind of a late restart where there was a guy in old tires right in front of me, and Casey. He left us, and I was never able to really catch back up. I think I was a tick quicker, but man, old Gen 4, old Atlanta, we had some extra horsepower. Like, there's nothing more fun in the sim than wheeling a high horsepower car in a low grip track. So I had a blast tonight. I'll take the P2.
I'm happy that you had the blast, Nathan. It was a great season out of you. Welcome to All-American Cup Series. Can't wait to see what the future of your career has in store.
I appreciate it. Thanks to Casey for doing the league. Thanks for you all broadcasting, anybody watching, and everybody else I raced with. Everybody was just a blast to race with. Can't wait to do it again.
Alrighty, we'll send him back down. Kyle, you go ahead and take it. Dayton Taylor rounding out your top three.
Yes, sir. Let's see if we can find him. There he is. Oop, hang on. Oop. Dayton. Got us, Kyle and Rowdy, up in the booth.
Hola.
Well, you fought back from that penalty on pit road, got a P3. Seems like you almost put yourself in these situations a lot, unfortunately. I feel like, you know, I put a commentator's jinx on you. I picked you to win today in that nice Carl car, and man, you were fast. It was nice to see you get back up to third, and tell us about your run.
Yeah, no, I actually think I was quicker than Casey, but I mean, it would have been between us two. But I'm a fat fucking chud. Hit the pit cone. So that kind of fucked everything up. But yeah, no. Still good bounce back. I can't be bad. I'm kind of just clawing whatever points back I can at this point, but Casey keeps winning. But yeah, it's a fun season. Sucked I missed 3 races, but it is what it is. And we'll go to August.
Excited for August, Dayton. Congratulations on the top 3, and can't wait to see what you do next season.
I appreciate it.
We'll send him back down. Well, Kyle, that is going to conclude on-track action for the All-American Cup Series. Normally, I'd say join us same time, same place next week, but same time, same place next season. All-American Cup Series, Season 12, starting up at the conclusion of this summer. It was awesome to have you up in the booth.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rowdy. It's been a lot of fun. Something I've always wanted to do, hop up in the booth, and hopefully I did a decent job, and hopefully, you know, brought some sort of knowledge to the booth. And yeah, man, I really enjoyed it, and certainly can't wait to get back on track, though. So hopefully I'm healed up and ready to get that old number 8 Piss Jug Man Chevy back out there.
Yep, and next time you fly around in a golf cart, be in the driver's seat so you land on old Dominic Russo next time, all right?
Oh, that's the goal.
Alrighty, well, for Casey Carrington, that pays the bills. Kylie for joining me up at the booth. The entire field for the All-American Cup Series on facilitating a great season. It's your pal Rowdy on the mic. I'll see you guys another time. Have a good night.